Let us try to understand idle time with an example. Let us say there is an employee named John. Company has paid him $400 for a week at the rate $10 per hour. Therefore, time for which John is paid is equal to 40 hours, whereas actual time worked is 36 hours. So there is an idle time of 4 hours, which is the difference between time paid and time worked. For 4 hours John was idle, he did not carried out any production, and still we paid him for those 4 hours. With the help of this example, we can define idle time as time during which no production is carried out because worker remains idle but are paid. So the important point to note here is that we are paying our workers even though they are idle. In other words, it is the difference between time paid and time worked. Another example of idle time is paid leaves, where company will pay an employee even when he or she is on holiday. Idle time can be divided into normal idle time and abnormal idle time. Let us see the example of normal idle time. When John arrives at factory, he will take 5 minutes to reach from factory gate to his place of work, which is normal idle time. You cannot expect an employee to fly and reach at his workplace in 5 seconds. He is an employee, not a superman. Let's see another example. John has completed one work and now he is starting with another work. The time taken between completion of one work and starting up another work is also considered normal idle time. Setting up the machine before John can start production is also one of the example of normal idle time. Normal rest time, break for lunch, these all are example of normal idle time. Normal idle time is a time which cannot be avoided or reduced in normal course of business. The cost of normal idle time is treated as a part of cost of production and it is charged to a product or service. Now let us see the example of abnormal idle time. Power failure or breakdown of machine, due to which employees are not able to do any production, or non-availability of raw materials, or there is a situation like flood or earthquake. Abnormal idle time can be further divided into controllable abnormal idle time and uncontrollable abnormal idle time. Controllable abnormal idle time is an abnormal idle time which can be controlled or avoided by management by efficient planning. Like non-availability of raw material can be avoided if the requirement of raw material is properly planned and made sure that they are available as and when needed. Whereas uncontrollable abnormal idle time is an abnormal idle time which cannot be controlled or avoided by the management. For example, flood or earthquake. Cost of abnormal idle time is not included in cost of production, but it is shown as a separate item under costing profit and loss account. Whereas cost of normal idle time is included in cost of